My hands were on the table. I could feel them too heavy, too visible, like they'd been borrowed from someone else, and I hadn't figured out what to do with them yet. The meeting hadn't even started. 12 people in a glass-walled conference room, and I was already calculating the fastest exit that wouldn't look like a retreat. That was a Tuesday morning, about 3 years ago. And the worst part, I was good at my job. I knew the material, I had prepared. And none of that mattered, because my body had already decided we were in danger. In the next few minutes, I'm gonna walk you through what I call the full day reset, a routine I built after hitting rock bottom with social anxiety, structured around 3 tools: the body clock in, the spotlight flip, and the exit ramp. You don't need to overhaul your personality. You need a map. And by the end of this, you'll have one. Oh Lord, it is good to be here with you. Welcome back to the Confident Connection Lab. Genuinely glad you're here. If you've ever sat in a parking lot before an event, rehearsing what you were going to say like it was a Broadway audition, hit like. It tells the algorithm we exist. It tells me you exist. Either way, it matters. So that Tuesday, I'll set the scene properly. Open plan office. The kind with exposed concrete and pendant lights that cost more than my first car. I'd been at the company for 8 months, long enough to know people's names, not long enough to feel like I had the right to take up space in the room. That's a specific kind of social anxiety, by the way. Not the fear of strangers, but the fear of the people who already know you, the ones who've already formed an opinion. I sat down, third chair from the left, next to a guy named Marcus who always laughed at the right moments and never seemed to wonder what to do with his hands. My manager opened the meeting and then unprompted turned to me. Why don't we start with you? My throat didn't tighten, it closed. Not metaphorically. I mean the physical sensation of something being squeezed from the inside. Like there was a fist wrapped around my windpipe, deciding whether to let the words through. I said something. I genuinely don't remember what. I know it was too fast. I know I apologized at the end of a sentence that didn't need an apology. And I know that for the next 40 minutes I sat there doing a real-time autopsy of every word I'd said. Replaying it, editing it, wishing I could submit a revised version. That's the thing no one talks about. Social anxiety doesn't end when the social situation ends. It has a second act. It follows you home. It narrates your shower. Psychology calls this post-event processing. I call it the replay trap, because that's exactly what it is. Your brain, trying to protect you, pulls out the security footage of the event and reviews it frame by frame, looking for threats. The problem is, it's not objective footage. It's edited, it zooms in on every pause, every stumble, every half second of silence, and it scores the whole thing like a disaster film. The replay trap keeps you stuck in a moment that is already over. And here's what took me years to understand. You are the only one watching this footage. Everyone else has already moved on. The exit from the replay trap isn't willpower, it's a routine. And this is what the routine looks like. 3 tools morning mid-event. And after, walk through it with me. The first tool is the body clock in. And it happens before you leave the house. Every morning, especially before a day with any social weight to it, you do a 60-second body scan, not meditation, not journaling. 60 seconds. Close your eyes, breathe in through your nose, and name 3 physical sensations you feel right now. Not emotion sensations. My shoulders are up near my ears. My stomach feels hollow. My jaw is clenched. That's it. You're not fixing anything. You're just checking in because anxiety lives in the body first and the brain catches up second. The body clock in interrupts the autopilot before the day has a chance to run it. The second tool is the spotlight flip, and you use it in the room. There's a well-documented cognitive bias called the spotlight effect, our tendency to believe that other people are paying far more attention to us than they actually are. I call it the main character trap, because your brain has cast itself as the lead, written everyone else as the audience, and now it's running a live performance review mid-scene. The flip is this. The moment you notice the main character trap activating, that chest tightening, hand forgetting, voice shrinking sensation, you redirect your focus to one other person in the room. Pick someone. Watch them. Actually listen to what they're saying, not to respond, just to hear it. You cannot be inside your own head and inside someone else's story at the same time. That's the flip, and it works every single time you're willing to try it. The third tool is the exit ramp, and you use it after. Not to leave early, to close the loop. When the social event ends and the replay trap starts warming up, you intercept it with one specific question. What was one moment that actually went fine? Not great, not perfect, fine. Your anxious brain is already running a highlight reel of the worst moments. You counter it with a single honest note from the other side of the ledger. One moment, said out loud or written down, before the replay starts over time. This retrains the scoring system. You're giving your nervous system evidence that the original threat assessment was exaggerated, and nervous systems, unlike egos, respond to evidence. So here's the full day. Morning, body clock in, 60 seconds, 3 physical sensations, nothing more. In the room, spotlight flip, redirect focus, outward the moment the performance anxiety shows up. After the event, exit ramp, one moment that went fine, said or written before the replay begins. None of these tools require you to be a different person. They require you to be a more deliberate version of who you already are. That is the whole game. Anxiety doesn't disappear. I want to be honest about that because the internet will sell you a version of this story where the tools make the feeling go away. They don't. 3 years later, I still feel it before hard conversations, big rooms, moments where the stakes feel real. The difference is, it doesn't drive anymore. I'm in the passenger seat. I can see where it's pointing, and I can choose a different road. I have a question, be honest in the comments. After a social event, do you spiral more in the moment, or does the replay hit you harder later that night? I'm a later that night person, always have been. The event ends, and my brain schedules a full debrief at 2 in the morning without my permission. Tell me yours below. I actually read these. Now that you have the full day framework, you need to know what to do when the routine breaks down. Because it will. There are days when the body clock in feels useless and the spotlight flip doesn't flip. I covered exactly what to do when anxiety wins the first round and how to reset mid-event without anyone noticing in the next audio right here. Click that.